All right, welcome back everybody to Mind of Gabs. I will be running through the SQL Functions Unit 3 Introduction to SQL. We're going to be going over exercises 3.1 through 4, all of the ones with the pencil mark. Guys, if you watch this video, hit that subscribe button. All right, help me out, spread the love. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and run through the exercises. This will be my second time running through exercises. I did it once and wasn't that bad actually. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. This one's the number of Weasleys are a big family. Write a query that will return the number of people the Weasley people with the last name. So we have to run a table with one column and run one row below. Select. Let's see. We are doing count here. So we are going to return the number of Weasleys. This has nothing to do with houses, by the way. So I like to do this where I do select from where and right at this point. There's more to it. Like we can group in the future and ordering by, but we'll get there, right? So select from. We are going to select from a person where their last name is Weasley. Weasley. Anything else? Is it asking for? I know I need as for number of Weasleys. Right? We could always copy this over, right click or Control C, copy paste. We don't believe our spelling. It's correct. Cool. So let's see. Don't forget to always look at the example in front of you, right? That kind of goes through what you're going to need to know. So this this count tells you how many total houses there are, right? Total from houses. You want the total from person, where it follows the structure where their last name is Weasley. So we do want a count. We want all of them. How many Weasleys are there total? For Weasleys, 9, and that is correct. Let's go. Next up, we want same thing. Select number of students. I like to copy and paste code from previous work. Why not? I did it once, right? It's not copying if it's your work. Find the number of students who are enrolled in Transfiguration. So we're going to have to connect course in this case, no matter what. So I know this to be true. Okay, so how do I know if they're in this course? I have to actually use enrollments on this one. Okay, where? Okay, well, where do we start? And we don't want Weasleys. We want students on Control C, Control V. We want our count. Okay, so we're counting. What are we counting again? Number of students that are in Transfigurations. All right, cool. So let's connect the course ID across these two right here, the courses and enrollment. So the course dot ID, connect it to the enrollment. Oh, not course. Okay, cool. So all we've done is connected this right here, this right here. Now we have to make sure that we are only getting those from the transfiguration. So let's just put our and statement in there. So only from the course dot name that has, for me, since it's transfiguration, it'll start with the letter T, right? So start with the letter T. Anything after T is okay, right? That's how I like to think of it. Start with T. Percentage means anything after T. If it was before the T, percentage, anything before, ending, right? And if it's in the middle of percentages, anything can come before, anything can come after it, right? Cool. So it says the number of students as the total number. Now, if this is where we left it, right here, ran our code, we get 1,881. I don't think there's that many students at Hogwarts. I don't think it's a Title 2 school or Title 5 or Title 3 or whatever school. Title 1. I think it's a Title 1 school. All right, so we're missing something, right? So we have a duplicate number of students. Okay, so probably because we linked course and enrollment here, right? So we got these two linked. We've just said make sure we only select the transfiguration, but we never linked person and enrollment. So like getting four times the amount as to probably what we're getting, if not more. So we have to link the person. We have to link enrollment, not person, to the person.id. Link this, their ID. 19. Wow, way better. Actually, that was 100 times more. Cool. All good, all good. Okay, so we need to select where or from, where, and, right at this point. People with Z names. Okay, so we need let's go back here. Let's copy that. It's done in the past, right? Find the number of students who have a Z in their first name. Oh, so we don't have to connect anything. Okay, that's right. That's right. We want one row, count from person, where their name has and their first name. So we don't even need an and statement this one at all, actually. The only thing that matters is where their first name is the letter Z in it. Is that a lowercase? So I'm going to start with lowercase. Don't forget to close it off with a semicolon. 3, right? Bada bing, bada boom. Easy. Over to 2, we're actually going to skip the video. We're going to go right to the exercises. Let's go. Let's see. That was the group by clause. All right, cool. So at the moment, we know that it goes select, from, where, and. You can add multiple ands if you want. But now we are going to be doing group by on this one. Grouping results, and we can also order our results as well. We have 2 columns. We need course and enrollment. So let's go ahead and let's make sure we know something goes here. What are we making? What are we going to turn into the name course? I like to do this first, right? What are we going to turn into the name enrollment? Course is probably going to be the course name, right? I would imagine. Course.name. Select our database, and then what column do we want in the database? So it goes database.column. As enrollment. Name and the number of students enrolled. The number of students is a count. Okay, we're going to group by. Okay, so we're actually going to have course names with a count, right? So we're actually going to group by course name. Now, what you're going to see is that by, what you call it? By putting the framework here, that it's going to help us fill it in as we go through it. Right, so like if I don't know one line, it allows me to move over to the next line is what I'm saying. Okay, so we definitely need to link let's see, course. Definitely have to link course, right? Definitely have to link enrollment here. Okay. Return a table showing the course enrollment for each course. It should have 2 columns that show the name of the course and the number of students enrolled in the course. Courses should be listed in order. Okay, So we know that for sure that they have to link. We know that the course, by the way, ID must match up with the enrollment ID. In this case, it's the enrollment course, right? And we have to make sure that we have to count. Let's see, course number 1, 2, 4, 5, right? Should actually be grouping it up probably by enrollment course. We want to count everybody in this one, whereas we can't actually group it by there. So we actually, because since these things are the same thing, the IDs and the names, right? Here's the IDs over here. So if we actually did it group by enrollments.course, it'll sum up everything in this one. How many ones do we have? 2s and 4s, and then that will be the count. Actually, oh, and they even gave you a hint here with enrollment, right? Cool. Let's see. Let's link up the people. ID. Any more? Order by. What did it say to order by? From highest to lowest. So let's see what happens if we just do order by count. I don't think this is right. I know it's not right. But let's just see what happens if we just do it that way. Let's say we're not sure what to put here. If there's anything, let's just put what we know and then let's run it and let's see what we get, right? So I'm doing kind of like a troubleshooting tip with you, right? If you're unsure of yourself, just put it in and see what you get, right? I see a lot of people that just get stuck and they don't want to move on because they don't know the right answer or they don't know how to type it in correctly. Well, that's okay. You know, type in what you know, see what you get, and then add more as you notice what you're missing. So, right, so it's like start small, see what you got, and just keep adding more and more steps. Highest to lowest, and then by course name. So course dot name. Run the code. Cool. Okay, so look, enrollment is from 12 to 20. I actually want the opposite. Sending. Run. The code is beautiful. What does it want? Okay, so we're gonna have 2 columns. Okay, so once again, put your framework. Select from here where these conditions are true for me to have selected these things. And I want to group by. I want to order by. Where I know for a fact, let's go to our last one. Oh, sorry. Let's go to our last one. Course enrollment. Let's use this. Because it says same thing. Course and enrollment, right? Probably going to be the same thing. Okay. This time just for the number of Hufflepuffs in this. Oh, okay. So let's go back here, actually. Let's do this. Let's just copy this code, paste this code, right? Because right now, what do we have? We have all the courses with their enrollments, right? This says course enrollments for each course, but this time just for the number of Hufflepuffs. So this is where we need an end here. And this is, we're going to need to link the houses somehow. The only way to do that is through the people database. So we have to join the person. Actually, it's the person database, right? And the person dot house should not be. Oh wait, it should be equal. Just for the number of Hufflepuffs. Okay, so just for the number of Hufflepuffs. Hufflepuffs are ID. House number 2 right here, so it has to have 2. Let's run this code. So let's see. We have to link person and enrollment. That's what we didn't do because we've linked these two, but we haven't linked to. Let's just make sure we link those as well. Person.id, right? They have the ID, has to equal the enrollments.per. Run. Perfect. Code is okay. How many professors from each house? Write a query that will return a list of each house. Okay, so we're actually we're going to group by house dot case or person dot house. We're either gonna it by their house IDs. Let's do house.id instead. The house ID, or we're going to group by this right here, person.house. Either one. Actually, I think probably be prevalent to do it by the house ID, because this ID there's only one of these, right? Whereas there's multiple of these, right? So like I don't want to group each of those, so I'm just going to group by that. All right, so we have to select what we're doing. We have to say where it's from, where where it has to do this with the following features. It has to be grouped by, and then have to, don't forget to order by. Cool. So what are we selecting? Well, we know that we're going to have as house, because it says here, right? So something is going to be, what database in column are we going to use as house? What database.column are we going to have as professors? Well, actually, this is a count, so we're probably going to be counting something. Cool, as professor. So what are we going here, from, where, and whatever? Well, I know for a fact that it has to be at least from house. That one. It says that we have to do professors. That professors have a course in the course table, so we have to link person, link course as well. How many professors come from house? Okay, so here's a professor, person. All right, let's go ahead. Let's do that first. Let's do person.id equals course.professor. Cool. So what we've done is we've said I only want these right here match up with these over here. Now we have to make sure that we link houses, people. So house.id must equal person dot. Right? So far, so good. Then we have to order it by alphabetically by house. Cool. Okay. We have to order it by specifically by house. Alphabetically. That'd be house name. See what we got if we do. Oh, what are we doing here? House dot. Has 3, Ravenclaw 1, and 1. That is excellent. Let's go. Once again, we're going to skip these. Okay, so we're going to have to filter using having at this point. Now we're getting more. I have 3 columns. Let's go. Let's open up the one before it, see if we can get some sample code to copy and paste. Oh. As course. is going to be for enrollment, more than likely. It says we need a professor last name. So something is going here as some of this stuff, whatever. As so we can see what's up. But the course is probably going to be the course name. So we're going to select that database. From that database, course name is going to be known as course. So we're going to change that to course. What is going to be professor's last name? More than likely, it's going to be person.lastname. That's the only way to get a last name in this thing. Go to the person database. Look for the last names category. These right here. And change it to professor last name. Cool. So we have house joins person. We also have to join course as well. Get rid of that. We don't know what we're grouping it by. We don't know what count it's going to have. Fill in where. Order by as well. But now we also have having. All right, cool. It's full if it has at least 18 students in it. Return a list of the names of the full courses. Last name. So we're going to group by course names. Having, it says here, at least 18 students in it. So it's greater than or equal to 18 or greater than 17. We're going to order by highest enrollment. What we have learned is that just do count, it goes from lowest to highest. So let's highest to lowest. Okay, cool. So we have house, person, course. First, let's connect the houses and the people. House dot, oh goodness. It's equal person dot house, right? And course dot the link professor with person as well. Course dot professor equals person dot ID. Done it. We've said link those two, everything's good to go. Syntax. Oh, hello. What's greater than 17? Oh, okay. Wait a second. We don't need house. See, this is the problem with copy and pasting code. House is nowhere in sight in this. We need enrollment. It says enrollment all over the place. So get rid of that. That's terrible. Okay. We have to link the enrollment person. Enrollment database. The column that we're linking is the person column. We have to link it to the person database. And that person, 73, matches up with the ID in that side. Duh. I can't help but feel I am missing something. Count. Link. That hasn't changed. I don't know. I erased it, but I don't know why I erased it. I know for a fact. Have to person's IDs, course not professor, I think it was. Now we have to enrollment. That's what we have to link the enrollment course ID. That's what we're looking for. Haha! There we go. The course, the professor, and the enrollment. Check the code. Beautiful. I think I need to take a break. Been doing this for, well, since this morning, and it's 24 hours into it. Okay, so we have 2 columns. Let's just start from the beginning. No copying paste. I think that screwed me up last time. My train of thought, well, it was a little off. So let's do it from the beginning. Select from what database where it is doing this and it is doing this. We're going to group it by these whatever we're grouping it by. It must have this, and we are going to order it by this this law. Okay, so we're selecting something is going to be named as family. Right, so we're going something we don't know what it is going to be renamed as family. I'm seeing that on this side over here. Something is going to be renamed as count. Now, I think we can go ahead and probably okay, actually, before I move on, see how this is all the same color? I saw an error. Normally that means you forgot a quotation mark. I would, however, going back to my train of thought, think that whatever is being called count, probably what our count is. Right, because we're technically counting stuff in this case. Okay, so we can turn that away. Base, okay. We want the biggest families written. Cool. To do this, we should turn a table of last names of the family. Okay, so last names comes from person database. Number of family members they have. Families with more than one person. Okay, having a count greater than 1. Sort your results by the number of family members first. So first by count. Probably in descending order. Rate ties alphabetically. Alphabetically will be last name and first name. Because we have a bunch of Weasleys in here, right? Descending order. Let's see. Column should be count. Cool. Go back to the beginning and let's see what we're doing. One of the biggest families. Table of the last name. Number of families they have. Okay. Have to group this by. This is all going to be in the person. I don't think we're going to have any. This one. So, let's see, the last name. Sort by. That's what we're looking for, right? We're by last name. Don't think we have any limiting parameters here. I think all it says is just group by last name. The limiting parameter would be having a count higher than 1. Semicolon, let's run it. Oh, yes, as family. We didn't fill that in. Right, so that would be the last name would be the family. Nice. We as 9. It worked out. Wait a second. Do it. F always that one error, right, where there's like something isn't spelled exactly like what they're looking. Cool. All right. Select from where and group by having these parameters and then order it by the following. Cool. We're selecting something and it will be known as course. Okay, let's see. Find the number of students in any course whose name starts with a C. Okay, so I'm going to put that in here, right? Real quick as I'm doing it. The name starts with a C, so that would be the first name. And that would be actually in the person database. First name, and it begins with the letter C. Anything else after it is Gucci Man. Okay, so we have that. I should have at least 15 students enrolled, so where the count is greater than 14. It could be greater than or equal to. Actually, let's do that one this time. Greater than or equal to. I believe it's how it's brain. Okay, well, I don't think they have or equal to. Actually, greater than 14. Deal. Let's see. Name of the course. So, course name, perhaps? By course name. Oh, any course. Let's see. Students. Any students with name C, or is the course itself name C? I guess we'll find out. I have to link person. Course. How else are we gonna get first names and last names? And how do I know who's enrolled in any course if I don't have the enrollment list? So there we go. We have to first off, let's link person's ID, person in it. So right, so first off, let's get all the people enrolled. Them equal. We're gonna need another and in here. Person.id. After that, that's the course matched up properly, right? So let's get rid of the enrollment stuff first, right? So enrollment person is linked to the enrollment course. Yeah. Course.id. Right, so it's once again it's database dot column. The database, but in both of these, that's enrollment database, right? I linked the person column and I linked the course column. Person has been linked to the person's ID. So if I want to find number 10, then course 1, 10, potions, that would be Hermione. Of course it's Hermione. Good job. Hermione Granger is in potions. Of course she is. Linked her person and her course to the name of the course. And we've said that we are only going to name people that begin with the first letter C. We're going to have greater than 14. Is there a order by? Number of students? Nope. I think that end of run this code. Let's see what we get. No. Probably because there's nobody with first. I wonder if it's not the person. I wonder if it's the course name. See, because there's a course named Charms and Care. Yep, I think that's right. Beautiful. Because that's the only course with more than 14 students. Oh, yeah, that's with Hagrid. Let's go, Hagrid. You have the best course. Cool. Next up, we're going to do graduation. Okay, so for this one, by the way, I remember filtering, and if we go back, it's limiting. Limit example. Right, so we have to do it this way. So now we are using the limit feature. Okay, so it has to be select Always do this first, right? Select from where it has the following conditions and these conditions, right? You can have more than one and, that's okay. We group by having parameters. But once again, I just like to put everything I know down. This is the framework of SQL, of SQL. Cool. Now, we don't always need it, but we put it down just so you can remember it, right? Okay, we're going to have two columns, first name and last name. Oh, I wonder. Since those, I've done this enough that those are straight from here and here. Well, let's just make sure that we follow the same process. I always like to put, at least when I was now I've learned this. Let's database.column, database.column. Let's select. We're going to output this database to this and this. So we're going to output this one in first name, last name. Cool. It's graduation time. Everyone's name is getting called in alphabetical order. Group by. Oh wait, after having is order by. I apologize. Order by alphabetical order. Find the last 5 names. So that's going to be our limit, right? It says the last 5. We don't want no more than 5. In reverse order. Interesting. So it'll be by last name, right? So order by last name. There's no group by having, I don't think, in this one. This needs to be descending too. Because if it was last name, it would start with A's and goes to Z's, but we want the Z's to A's. Cool. I don't think we're counting anything, so we don't need to group it if we're not counting, right? So we're selecting from the person, and think that. Okay. First alphabetical order. Arthur's tricky, tricky, tricky. Very tricky. Descending. Yes. Because Ron would get called after Arthur. Get out. We're good. Cool. Let's do it again. Right? Select from where as these conditions been grouped, having these conditions met, you're going to order and potentially limit it to a certain number of cases. Remember, once again, put the framework down and then fill it in as you get through the code, right? You have first name, which comes from person.first name. You get last name, which comes from person.last name. It says courses. Now, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to put as courses, but I'm going to guess that course name right here is going to be, but it's either course ID or course name is going to be. We'll see as we get through it. Right? All right, cool. What's our assignment? First, the first thing I saw was sort the top 5, right? So as soon as I see that, I say limit 5. Like, I see it, I'm just going to put it in. All right, find the first and last name of 5 students sorted by most courses taking. Cool. So most courses, we are actually going to have a count by this case. So it's order by count this case. And now it's going to be in descending order because counting normally, once again, goes low to high. I want high to low, limiting to the last 5 in descending order. It should be sorted, by the way, now that I'm here and I'm ordering it, right? It's sorted by the top 5, cool. By number of courses, yep. And after number of courses, and then by last name. Cool. Well, we probably need person, right? Let's see. Gotta connect. Person. What are we grouping by? First and last names of 5 students sorted by the most courses taken. Going to sort by we're gonna group by some name. Either gonna group by here or we're gonna group by the person. Let's see. We're going by enrollment, not person. The reason I say that is because I want to know how many courses this person has taken. I want to count for this right here. That's what I want to count for, right? I want this count. So I want how many 73s taken. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's go. There's no having this one. Cool, so let's link the person to the person. Which means we're going to need enrollment. Probably also going to link courses as well. If course 1, you have to link it to the name. Where enrollment dot person, I'll show you what happens if we don't make that mistake. Or I'll just show you what happens if like you just keep clicking run, you can see what you're getting, right? Like for example, let's say I didn't know that. Just leave it out. See what happens, right? Let's link it to person.id. Cool. Well, if that's all I had, I did this, what would I get? Oh. I want the count as courses. Marcus, Terry, Millicent, Gregory, and Neville. That worked. So we actually didn't need it. Very cool. Yep. This is our last example. Okay, Rate My Professor. That's actually a very good website if you've never been on it. So if you go to college, do ratemyprofessor.com or whatever it is, and you can see your local professors and which ones are the best. Once again, I like to just add the framework. That is not add, that is and. Cool. Let's rate them. First off, it says first name, last names, which means we have person dot first name, person dot last name. Don't forget it's database dot column, so which means we absolutely have to have the person database here. First and last names of the professor who teaches the course at Hogwarts. It's the course that has the fewest students in it. Cool. So we're going to have a count for the number of students. So we're going to group by course name. This one, which means we need to join the course and we need to join enrollment. Let's see. Say anything houses. On the first and last name of the professor. Got it. Of the professor who teaches the least popular course. Okay, so let's first off, let's get the professors, right? Let's link the professors to the person. I only want these to these right now. Cool. So let's get course.professor equals person dot ID. Right? Cool. Now I have to link enrollment to people, right? That we count these people in it as well. I want all the people inside of it to make. We also have to make sure we're going I want the enrollment counted for each person. I'm gonna count these people. And I don't want to double count them. Once again, cool. So we've given these numbers names, and we've given. Then we have to connect these courses to these courses as well. To the course ID, right? I have to count it. If I write it in here, it means it's going to be counted. Course name is the same thing as D. Again, as that last example back, we just go with not course. Group by enrollment. So the reason I say that is because it says the least popular course at Hogwarts, right? So if we group here, if we count those, right? Don't forget we have to have a count, right? We're counting what's in this group right here. So if I go to enrollment.course, it'll count everything that's in one. The reason I couldn't do course.name is because it would come up with only one thing to go with potions. That's the number 94. Don't even look at like the top here. How many does, if I put course ID, it would be one for each. If I did course name, it'd still be one thing for each. Whereas over here, the enrollment number 1 has many times it's shown up, right? So I got to make sure that I'm grouping it by something that's going to count all the people in it. And that's why we linked all this stuff together. It doesn't say anything about having to have anything specific, but it did specify order. The fewest in it, so we have to excellent. Cool. Remember that you can rename tables that together. So, all right. So, I didn't. I can show you afterwards after I do the solution. What they're talking about for this hint. Don't have to do it, but I did. I mean, whatever. Fewest students. They want the least popular course. Okay, so listen. If I don't have any limit, what's going to happen? It's going to show all the course. Anyways, just want to limit it to one on this one. The reason I say that is because it wants the course with the. That would be, as you see, Phileas Flitwick. Cool. Now that is the solution for it. If I hit submit and continue, I'm all done with. However, let's go back to that question. There's an easier way to kind of teach this to you. If you're having a hard time with it, I'm going to show you just a slightly different way to do it. And it's going to be up here. So every time I do join, I'm going to do something different. Right? Okay, so you can use the as feature. This one. So what we can do is say as person as professor. Right? So we've created a database called professor here. And then you do another join, you do person as student, I believe. That's the proper way. Yes. Select. Wanna Now, thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I've created from one database, I've got professor and I've got student. Let's just do PROF for professor and stud for student. Less typing. Cool. So now this professor is its own database. So what we can do is course professor refers to the professor's database. And the enrollment person over here is going to be from the student's database. Should still send his name. However, we want the professor's first name. We want the professor's last name. All right. All right. So that's another way to kind of do this. Now, a way to kind of make this seem a little easier, right? Something like this. Code still works that way, right? So what we did was from the one data, and that's why I said you totally didn't have to do it, right? I didn't do it. I didn't need it. Name tables here. What they meant was I can take this database called person. I can say join it and then join it again, but the first one, call it as professor, copy it and paste it as student. So we're going to say you have a professor ID, have a student ID, right? Now the professor has a first name, the professor has a last name. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for, that's all they were asking for. That's it. Code over. Don't worry about it. That's the end of it. Didn't have to do it that way, but you can. I appreciate it, guys. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Put a lot of work into learning this stuff. Spread the love. It's all I ask. And take care.